Is this thing on? Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Welcome as we discuss David Zaslav's and Discovery's huge plans for DC. This is what I think is going to happen. The current Warner Brothers Pictures in the past year has been green lighting DC and DCEU projects for fun. A Green Lantern Corps television series, a very ambitious one spanning decades and many different members of the Green Lantern Corps. Sounds very exciting, right? Where is it? Nowhere to be seen. Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams' Superman of Color. Where is it? Nowhere to be seen. Michael B. Jordan's Val Zod Superman. Where is it? Nowhere to be seen. These people at Warner Brothers Pictures are serial failures. They're the ones who decided to turn Zack Snyder's Justice League into Justice League. What did you enjoy more? Whatever you think of Zack, what did you enjoy more? Thank you very much. I have nothing further, Your Honor. So why were they green-lighting so many projects, some of them even exciting? They were desperately fighting to save their jobs. So when Zaslav and Discovery turned up, there would be no problem. He wouldn't mention Zack Snyder or restoring the Snyderverse. Look at what you've done. The Batman's a huge hit. The Batman's a huge hit because of Matt Reeves. They wanted Matt Reeves to direct Ben Affleck's Batfleck movie, not make his own movie. And if he didn't threaten to walk away from discussions, that's exactly what would have happened. Not with Matt Reeves, though, because he was never going to do it. Because Matt Reeves is smart. The situation ended up successfully because of Matt Reeves, not Toby Emmerich. Toby Emmerich just wanted Matt to make the Ben Affleck movie, which sounds sensational. But once Ben doesn't direct it, there's a bit of a problem there, right? The only other person, really, who could have directed it with Ben, because their mentality is the same and he brought Ben on board, would have been Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder directing the Batfleck movie would have been perfect. They would have been on the same page. But of course, Zack Snyder was not able to do that because of the situation with Toby Emmerich and Warner Brothers Pictures. So these people have been trying so desperately to save their positions at this company. But it was never going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Never. And in the past week, we have seen Matt Reeves' Gotham PD shelved. We have seen the entire DCEU slate schedule change. Why? Well, they're in trouble. We've discussed this already, so I don't want to go over old ground. But they didn't have any projects for 2023. Why? Ta-Nehisi Coates' Superman was greenlit ages ago. He was supposed to hand his script in last October. What has happened to it? They should have by now started casting, appointed a director, and really now they should be shooting, right? And if they were shooting now, they would have finished by the end of 2022 this year, and they could have been ready to go by next summer or even at the end of 2023. Definitely at the end of 2023. That would have been another movie. Where is it? It's not happening. Because Zaslav and Discovery have said no. I've seen your plans and I don't want to see them. Let me see your movies now. But also, right, I'm sure he's seen The Flash and all the other movies. This is also a tactic, a desperate tactic. They've just had a big win with the Batman. And I just saw a Grace Randolph video trying to explain this. She was talking about nonsense about VFX not going to be taking a long time. Well, I'm sorry, Grace, I don't buy it. I respect your opinion. You're quite knowledgeable within the industry because you worked in the industry. So I understand it, but I don't buy it. They've kept the only two films they believe will make any money. So they're probably worried about The Flash. They're probably worried about Aquaman and the Last Kingdom. So they've shoved it to next year when Zaslav and Discovery will be here and they can decide what's going to happen with those films. They need wins now. So that's why they're keeping Black Adam at the end of this year and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I would suspect Shazam! Fury of the Gods are two really good movies. Plus, I think Henry Cavill is probably in both of them, but I don't know about that. So all their plans, all their desperation to save themselves, to save their jobs after their toxicity, after they took advantage of a director's daughter ending her life and using that for the reason that he left the Justice League project, and everything else that we found out from Ray Fisher and Zack Snyder, it's not good. So they're now trying to desperately save themselves. And there was even more evidence of this when Toby Emmerich was being interviewed by Deadline, and the Deadline journalist, as I mentioned earlier in the DCEU Daily, said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep this Warner Brothers team. No, it ain't happening. So what is Zaslav's and Discovery's plans? I think they're going to abolish the DCEU. You can take that to the bank. They're going to abolish it. That's one of the many reasons why these films have been delayed. The DCEU's finished as far as I know, and I'm concerned. So I think the DCEU is dead. Whether we actually see Shazam and Black Adam, whether we actually see the Flash movie ever, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, I think the DCEU is finished. So something else you can take to the bank, and we've discussed this, the Snyderverse is going to be restored. There's going to be Snyder movies being made and released in cinemas. They will be a separate universe. There will be other characters. They will bring creatives in, high kind of artistic integrity, creatives and directors to make their own films. It won't be a shared universe. And I think I've already mentioned this. So this is the way we're going. There is going to be a restructuring of the whole DC cinematic universe. If you can't see that these delays are suspicious and something's going on here, then I don't know what to tell you. And I want to cover this extensively in the next weeks and months, because eventually Discovery will come. David Zaslav will appoint a CEO for Warner Discovery, a CEO who understands this industry. And I've mentioned his name before, someone like Bob Iger. And I've also stated it, and I must admit, it's a pretty ballsy thing of me to do, but it could even be Bob Iger. Did you ever get suspicious why Bob Iger stepped down from Disney? Weird, isn't it? Strange situation, right? But we'll have to wait and see. But someone will be appointed, because David Zaslav will not be, I don't think David, look, David Zaslav is the CEO of the company, and I think he'll be the man in charge making the decisions. But the man of the motion picture company, or the woman, or however else they identify as, that'll be someone else, someone who has great experience. I believe that Ann Sarnoff, Toby Emmerich, Walter Hamada are all gone. It's finished for them. Warner Brothers Pictures, I think, will be gutted, as I've mentioned before, and I think it will be rebranded and renamed as something else, probably Warner Discovery Pictures or something like that. So that studio right now that makes films, Warner Brothers Pictures, will be totally, basically they're going to demolish it and rebuild it. Now everybody who's watching this, you have to understand this, because I do read your messages. I just saw you on my premiere. Some of you have great takes and understand the situation, and I admire and respect that, but some of you just simply don't understand what's going on here. And that's not your fault, because you don't have an inside view of what's going on. That's why you subscribe to me, so I can let you know these things. This is beyond just restoring the Snyderverse. I know there's this kind of two sides of DC fandom. The Snyderverse stands who have a lot of hot takes. They can be quite kind of triggering. I understand that. But I'm also a Snyder fan. But I'm not biased. My mind is pretty open to all things. You've seen me in the past weeks and months look forward to The Flash, the multiverse strategy. I thought it was a very ambitious thing to do with Walter Hamada. But I still was very suspicious if he was going to pull this off in executing the thing when you've got Christina Hodson writing the most important DC movie ever. Doesn't make sense, especially when she's got a failure like Birds of Prey to her name. And I've seen Christina talk about DC, and I've said this before. She seems very passionate. I like her. She seems to have a lovely personality. But this is not about personalities. This is about entertainment, and this is about business. It's not about, you know, it's not friend business. It's show business, right? It's not show friends. It's show business. They want to make money. Now, if you've seen David Zaslav, and I'm sure that you've heard him speak, he's a very impressive gentleman because he's very straight and honest about what he wants to do. He's directly said that he's very ambitious to make Warner Discovery the biggest studio out of all of them. He wants to make money and he thinks that they can. Of course he does. He's a businessman. You know, Discovery and Zaslav have just put their fortune in buying this studio from AT&T. They're not coming here just to sit there and allow Toby Emmerich and Ann Sarnoff to carry on making these horrible decisions, because these delays are terrible decisions. And a few people mentioned this to me on the live chat last night and on Twitter. They had a promotion that was called We Need Heroes in this year or whatever it is. It's a promotion showing little clips of all the movies they were going to release. Right? They added it onto the Batman in movie theatres. We saw it online a few weeks back, do you remember? So this is something else. I think something happened to force them to delay these films, because it's clear, because of that promotion, a promotion that says these movies are coming in 2022, and they released it with the Batman. So this decision has been enforced by something that's happened recently. That's what I believe. In fact, look, some of it is just common sense. You just have to think about it. Michael Uslan said Batgirl will release in December. There's no way that can happen, right? They had a promotion promoting Black Adam, The Flash, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, all for 2022, on top of a movie that's released in the DC universe, the Batman. So clearly, originally, they planned to release these movies. But now, all of a sudden, Gotham PD's been shelved and these movies are being delayed. This can only be because of Discovery. It can only be this. And I noticed in my premiere video, people saying, I don't think it's anything to do with Discovery. But you've got to quantify that and qualify that. But what? Why? Because when I give an opinion, I qualify it. And it's important to back up what you're saying. Do you believe because Discovery shouldn't be involved at the moment because the merger isn't official yet, they wouldn't be making these decisions? Look, the delays have happened for 50-50 reasons. These are tactical reasons by Warner Brothers Pictures to try and save their skins and save Warner Brothers Pictures so they can continue doing what they're doing. But also, Warner Discovery are behind this as well. So this shows me that the DCEU is being abolished. At the beginning of the week, and I've also mentioned this before, that Toby Emmerich said a very interesting thing, that movies, you know, comic book movies are not just about Easter eggs and cameos. They can be just the movies. They can just be movies. That was an interesting point that he made. And I think this is something echoing what Discovery want. This is the clearest indication that the DCEU is being abolished. And as I said, I don't know if we'll ever see Black Adam, Shazam, the Flash movie, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I don't know. Even Batgirl. I don't know. Because David Zaslav has been going all over Hollywood researching what's gone on in that studio. And this is very important to understand. This does go back to what happened to Snyder and how Christopher Nolan reacted to Day and Date. So Christopher Nolan does not like Warner Brothers Pictures. He fell out with them. He knows what they did to Zack Snyder, telling Deb Snyder to not under any circumstances let him see Justice League, because it would have broken his heart. And quite right too. Zack Snyder's an artist. How would you react if your art was mutilated like that? If you were the person who painted Mona Lisa, and sorry, was it Da Vinci? I don't know, right? Imagine you're Da Vinci or whoever painting Mona Lisa, and then someone like Joss Whedon said, oh, this is a bit dark. Let's brighten it up with bright pink and bright green. How would you feel about that? What happened to Zack Snyder was disgusting, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. So basically, a new DC universe is going to be formed. And they're either going to do individual universes for these different characters and just allow each filmmaker to do what they want, and there will be no shared universe, or probably Zaslav's an intelligent man, so I think he's probably looking at the DCEU and he's thinking, hang on a minute, Zack Snyder started this off and now they're just going to reboot the whole thing. How is that even going to work? So I would believe, even if he wants to do a shared universe, he's going to shut the DCEU down and start again and bring someone in who understands these epic, iconic, wonderful, DC characters that have been coming since 1938 with Superman, 1939 with Batman. We've got Batman right now with Matt Reeves. I don't know what Zaslav's thinking is with Matt Reeves. We'll have to see. But if he is the one who shelved Gotham PD, then I think maybe David Zaslav and Matt Reeves need to do some talking to iron out a new relationship. Because these people are coming in and they don't want any issues, any problems. They want the public to be entertained. They want to create an entertainment universe, not just in DC. So entertainment comes first. So I know what you're thinking. Is David Zaslav and Discovery going to be woke? No. I mean, again, I don't like that word woke, and I ain't against representation. I think inclusion and representation by the entertainment industry has been weaponized, and certain people, and I do believe they've weaponized the LGBTQ community to forward their politics, which is a shame, because inclusion and representation should actually be a positive thing, but the story and the entertainment must always come first. No matter who you're representing and including, and whatever commentary you're making, the actual entertainment must always come first, and it hasn't done. I believe David Zaslav isn't that way inclined. I believe he's here for the business, and he understands the better the content, the more successful it is, and then you make money. If you please me and you, then you're successful. That's it. The audience, the stands, the mainstream audiences. And you can have different pieces of content for different pieces of audiences. So if he doesn't bring someone in to have a new cinematic universe, then he's probably thinking, look, we'll just bring different people in to make their movies. And that's what you do. That makes sense. Because just because Kevin Feige and the MCU have got this huge interconnected universe, it doesn't mean that's the way to go for everyone. Because really, when you look at all the universes, all the franchises, none of them really work. The James Bond franchise is an absolute fucking clusterfuck of a mess right now. Sony Marvel, I like Sony Marvel, but as a connected franchise, it's not great. And I know that Feige's involved with that as well, and it's kind of connected to the MCU now. So apart from what Feige's done, no one's been able to copy and pattern this. Because it's like what Matt Reeves said when they asked him, would he direct a Marvel movie? And he goes, I don't know where to start. Because Feige's got it all in his head. He's probably got, a board with all the facts, figures, information, where everyone should be. It's difficult when you've got such a big universe. It's difficult enough when you're running a soap opera or a drama series to make sure all the continuity is actually consistent. So it's a very difficult thing to do, and you'll need a very talented person to do it. The DC Extended Universe hasn't succeeded since Zack left. Zack had a vision. He had a Superman story, an arc. Superman starts in Man of Steel. He's killed in BVS. He's reborn in Justice League 1. And then we're in the nightmare future in Justice League 2. And then in Justice League 3, he comes full circle. Batman sacrifices himself. What a great arc for him. And Superman leads the metahumans of the world. What a beautiful arc for the best superhero in the world. And we didn't give him a chance to complete it. And he has every right to get that opportunity. And Zack Snyder will. And I will fucking celebrate that. But I don't want to argue with other DC fans because we should be united right now. Because as disappointing and as devastating and as frustrating as it is to have these films just cancelled and have the embarrassment of MCU fans and other fans saying, the DCEU fails again. It hurts me. It hurts me. And I know it hurts you. Because it's another blow amongst so many blows. And I understand them. But these delays and Discovery coming in with David Zaslav is the best thing. David Zaslav's a very good businessman. He's a very good man. He's going to lead Warner Brothers, and as a Warner Brothers stan, and DC to a new future. Because I am a Warner Brothers fan. I have been since I was a small boy. I am a DC fan. We need proper leadership. It's going to take time. But one day in the future, in the next 5 years, we will have a DC live-action universe to be proud of. And whether that's different pockets in different places with different characters in separate universes, or, you know, a shared universe that David brings in to do it properly, whatever it is, I know they're going to get it right. So right now, from you and me, the fans, we need to be patient and, you know, ride this board of the Batman success, and what happens in the future happens. But I do really believe now it probably is for the best that the DCEU just boom. It could be that Zack Snyder's going to come back and continue his DCEU. So that's the franchise that, you know, we're going to, you know, because basically Warner Brothers Pictures hijacked Zack's franchise. And has it been any good? Has it been more, has it been more interconnected? It hasn't, has it? It hasn't. Since Justice League, we had Aquaman, one mention of Steppenwolf. Shazam, quite a few Easter eggs to be fair. And then we had Wonder Woman 84, which had no connective tissue because it was set in 84. And Birds of Prey. So you can see these people who thought they could do a better job than Zack Snyder actually haven't. Because here's the truth. Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and even that Suicide Squad film edited by a pop video company, Wonder Woman and Zack Snyder's Justice League, are better films than what we've got. And I do like Aquaman, by the way. James Wan did a great job, and Shazam is solid. But apart from that, Hamada hasn't done a very good job. Now, we may never know what those films, with his multiverse strategy, are. How good they are, how bad they are. I would like to know. I want to see them, but not at the expense of a successful DC live-action universe. We're getting a new broom, and this broom will take time to clean the cobwebs out, but we will have a properly run Warner Discovery Pictures, and we will have a properly run DC live-action universe. And everybody out there, isn't that what we all want? This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you again tonight when I'm live. Ask me anything. I'll be there for a couple of hours on the live video. I love bringing you these videos. I love going live with you. Please stick with me. The equipment and quality of the camera and sound will get better in the next few months. But stick with me, because this channel, with your help, is going to go up there, fingers crossed. So until I see you tonight in a live video, goodbye, au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. See you tonight.